This is live severe weather coverage for East Alabama and West Georgia from Dr. Don's Weather. Stand by as all of our network streaming channels join our broadcast. This live stream is made possible by Randolph County Animal Shelter, Southern Pressed Cleaners and Market, Derek Farr for Randolph County Sheriff, Anchor Roofing, Salem Auction House, the 19th Hole at Cider Ridge, Alpha Insurance Agent Jamie Dukas, Southern Union State Community College, Integrated Contractor Services, Stevens Home Furniture, The Oaks, Boondocks Barbecue and Creamery, Donnie Grant Jr. for Sheriff Randolph County, Fincher Fence Company, the venue at 5 Points Farms, Jeff Monroe for Alabama House District 37, and N&W Locks. From the Alpha Severe Weather Center, here's Dr. Don.
All right, good evening, East Alabama and West Georgia. Dr. Don back in here with you, 5:33 p.m. Central, 6:33 p.m. Eastern. And the National Weather Service has just extended the tornado watch to include the remaining 2 counties of East Alabama, that being Cleburne and Randolph. So now all of East Alabama and all of our counties in the Dr. Don coverage area of East Alabama are under a tornado watch. This watch has not been extended into Georgia just yet. This is an extension of the Storm Prediction Center watch that was issued earlier. Local weather service offices can do an extension, and that's what we have at the moment. Now, I do expect a new overall tornado watch from the Storm Prediction Center, which will most likely include some of the West Georgia counties. And that most likely will be issued in the next, I would think probably the next hour or so. So we want to jump back in here and give you that information. I'm trying to get here we go. Some information on the watch. It's in effect until 11 p.m. This evening in the state of Alabama. It includes the following counties: Autauga, Barber, Bibb, Blount, Bullock, Calhoun, Chambers, Cherokee, Chilton, Clay, Coosa, Dallas, Elmore, Etowah, Fayette, Greene, Hale, Jefferson, Lamar, Lee, Lowndes, Macon, Marengo, Marion, Montgomery, Perry, Pickens, Pike, Russell, Shelby, St. Clair, Sumter, Talladega, Tallapoosa, Tuscaloosa, Walker, and Winston. So that is a tornado watch now in effect for all of those counties until 11 p.m. this evening. We're also seeing numerous reports of most of the city of Montgomery is without power at this hour from that storm that moved through just a few moments ago. And we're also getting reports of baseball-sized hail out on Pike Road, which is southwest of Montgomery. Now, that hail has probably already moved through as it continues moving off to the east. This is a tornado-warned storm. So you folks that are downstream from this, pay attention. That's places like Union Springs. Tuskegee, I think this stays a little bit south of you, the tornadic part of it anyway. I-85 is a horrible ride right now from about the Tuskegee exit all the way down to East Montgomery. The heaviest hail right now appears to be to the southeast of Shorter or maybe to the southwest of Tuskegee. And then Union Springs sits right down here. Well, you see that 1.75? That's a hail marker, and that's pretty significant hail occurring right there. And if we can do a couple of things here, one thing I want to do is take that off. All right, now let's switch over to, we're looking at this on the Montgomery radar. Birmingham is out of service right now. If we have a tornado Going to be right in this area. Now, this is a long-lived thunderstorm, long-lived supercell thunderstorm that has had a history of ramping up, and then it'll weaken a little bit, and then the hail core ramps back up, and then so does the velocity. So this has been kind of a pulsating storm as it moved from Selma back over toward Montgomery. The first warning was along the Autauga County, Montgomery County line right there on the Alabama River just south of Prattville about an hour ago. And since then, it has moved through Montgomery, and now it is southeast of Montgomery. And we still have, or did we just lose it? I think we lost our warnings again. On my next break, I am going to restart this computer. I meant to do that just a few moments ago. Well, go back to the reflectivity. And I think that's a new severe thunderstorm warning coming in. This is issued by the National Weather Service in Birmingham. This is going to be for Barber, Bullock, and Macon counties, and also Russell counties. Severe thunderstorm warning. And this also carries a possible tornado tag. So it's a severe thunderstorm warning with a possible tornado. Again, for Barber, Bullock, Macon, and Russell counties of south central Alabama. And we're told that the sirens are still going off in Montgomery. They should not be. If you're in Montgomery, you're safe. You can go back. You can go back to your normal evening activities. We'll see if this new tornado warning populates here. And they're telling us the hail core on that particular storm down there, it continues to expand. That's pretty amazing. They did cancel the tornado warning for northeastern Bullock, southeastern Macon, and east central Montgomery, but they have issued a new severe thunderstorm warning with a possible tornado for Barber, Bullock, Macon, and Russell. And there we go. There we go. We got it back on. Let's see. I saw some, let's see. Hey, Vin. Vin's in Montgomery and tells us nonstop sirens the last 30 minutes near Pike Road. Well, you had a nasty storm with a possible tornado that moved right through there. However, that storm is moving on off to your east again. I just saw Rich Thomas in the chat room about 4 minutes ago, and he was saying the sirens were still blaring in Montgomery, and they should not be. This storm is right on the Montgomery County line, and it's moving away from Montgomery. So the sirens up in Montgomery proper should not be activated. Unfortunately, there are still some jurisdictions around that, and our county is one of them because it's very expensive to do it the way it should be done. But there's still a lot of jurisdictions around that if any part of your county goes under a warning, then the siren system countywide is activated, even though it may not affect you in other parts of the county. Now, there's a way around that. It's polygon-based activation for the outdoor warning siren system, but it's extremely expensive. I would think Montgomery County could afford to do it. Our little county up here in northeast Georgia, we're going to do it, but it's been a project we've been working on for quite some time. We wanted to do it about 7 or 8 years ago. We just didn't have the funding. But that's why that happens. The sirens in Montgomery proper should not be activated. The only area of Montgomery County that's receiving any weather at all is this little bitty part over in the extreme eastern side of the county. Well, we don't want to do that. Let's see. Let's draw it. All right. There's so much going on here, it's hard to see the county line. There's the county line. So you see, you've got just a little bit over there. I don't believe Montgomery's even listed in the warning. They're not. So I don't know why the sirens continue to go off in Montgomery. They should not be. But look at that hail core. My goodness. Right there. And this is a long-track storm. I mean, it's got a history. And it just continues to hold together. It ramps up, and then it'll weaken a little bit. Then it ramps back up again. Right now, situated between Tuskegee and Union Springs. So let me zoom back out while we're here. The primary reason I came back on was to let you know that Randolph and Cleburne have now been added to the tornado watch. There's no other severe weather in the state of Alabama at this hour, anywhere. The only severe storm is this one between Tuskegee and Union Springs, and it is moving off to the southeast. And I told you an hour and 15 minutes ago that this would end up being a South Columbus storm, and that's exactly what's going to happen. As you can see, in a minute. The storm's moving in that direction, so this is not going to, southern Lee County may get a little rain off of that, but the core of the storm is going to pass south of Columbus, Phoenix City, pretty good ways. So this is not going to be a problem. It's going to move into Georgia between Columbus and Eufaula. But you folks over here in West Georgia now, places like Americus, all the way back to the Alabama state line, heads up, this joker's been doing its thing now for almost 2 hours. It started way back over here between Selma and Montgomery, and it is held together and was moving due east, but is now taken on somewhat of a right-hand turn and will end up over in the Americus area probably in about another hour if it holds together. We're keeping an eye on this one. It is another very slow mover, and I'm telling you, Montgomery probably got at least 2 inches of rain out of this. If not more. I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen rain like that. And we've got reports of baseball-sized hail that fell out on Pike Road just southwest of Montgomery. Southeast of Montgomery. So that's a nasty storm down there, and we're watching another one just to the west of Montgomery that if it continues to move in the direction it's moving now, it's not nearly as strong as the one that came through Montgomery earlier. At least it's not right now. It is producing a lot of rain. So, you could be looking at another inch and a half of rain on top of what you've already got. We've got reports of flooding in downtown Montgomery. And I was telling you, I was looking at it on a camera that I couldn't share, but I was looking at it on a camera, and I told you, the camera's right across the street from the Capitol building, and you couldn't see the building. I mean, it was completely washed out, and it was that way for almost 17 minutes. So at least 2 inches of rain, and you may end up at least picking up another inch or so right after the first one. So that's the kind of situation we were fearful was going to happen tonight, is these storms are going to start training. And so we're watching for that possibility. And understand, we're just getting started. This is actually ahead of schedule. We didn't think we would start seeing anything in central or east Alabama until after about 8 or 9 p.m. And here we are at 5:48 looking at severe weather. Severe thunderstorm warning continues for Barber, Bullock, Macon, and Russell counties of southeast Alabama. That coming in from the National Weather Service. But look, now let me switch radars right quick before we show you what's happening in Mississippi so you can see it. Understand we're a little bit handicapped tonight. We're having to work off of the Montgomery radar because Birmingham went down this morning, and the part to get it back up won't be there until tomorrow. So Birmingham is still operational as far as the National Weather Service is concerned, but they're having to operate off of Montgomery and Atlanta, and so we're doing the same thing. So right now we're looking at NextRad. We're looking at a single site. It's the Montgomery site. But to show you what's happening back in Mississippi, ordinarily the Birmingham radar, when it's up, you can see well into Mississippi. Well, you can't with the Montgomery radar. So we have to switch back and forth. So we have to turn off the NextRad and then switch over to the composite. And sometimes that takes a second. There it goes. So we can look and see what's happening back upstream. And look at that. A nasty storm just northwest of Meridian, Mississippi. A big hail core right there. And that's a severe thunderstorm warning. We have a special weather statement just northwest of Hattiesburg. Tornado warning just north of Bogalusa, between Bogalusa and Macomb, Mississippi. And then another tornado warning between Alexandria and Natchez. Big singular storms out here. That's where you start getting tornadoes. We think all of this may line up as a squall line later, but right now it's not doing that. We've got singular storms everywhere, and that's what we're watching real close. There's the back side of it. It's stretching from Memphis down to Dallas, and we've got to get that through here. That'll push all of this other stuff out, and the stuff on the backside is not severe. So you folks up in North Alabama, and we're talking places like Huntsville, your severe threat is going to be coming to an end fairly soon. For Tuscaloosa, probably once we get this line, this just to your northwest, to push a little further south, then your severe threat will subside as well. But that line's not moving very quickly. And I'm talking about this area right here. If you are north of that line, your threat has ended. If you are south of this line, you still have a severe weather threat. And this white line is not moving southeast very quickly at all. As a matter of fact, I'm hopeful it doesn't stall out, because if it does, it's going to get ugly around here. But again, for those of you watching us across East Alabama and West Georgia, which most of you are, I'll take you in close on our coverage area, and there's nothing happening right now. We've got big rain up here on the northwest side of Atlanta. We've got big rain in Selma, back up to Clanton, back over toward Prattville, and then that severe thunderstorm warning with a possible tornado to the southwest of Columbus, moving southeast. A couple little pockets of heavy rain maybe there in around Rockford in Coosa County. I think that we're going to have to watch this area south for East Alabama and West Georgia. We got to pay attention to the storm to the southwest of Clanton, and then this area between Birmingham and Greensboro, where there really hasn't been, right in there, there really hasn't been a whole lot of activity this afternoon, and we most likely have had some sun peeking through the clouds there, from Clanton back to Birmingham, back to Greensboro. So we're going to be watching real close for formation in this area, because that is what would likely end up in East Alabama a little later on this evening. So that's the situation as we have it right now. The only reason we came back was to let you know that Randolph and Cleburne has been added to the tornado watch. Let me go over to the chat room right quick before we take another break and see if there's any questions in there. Remy, where are you getting that from? You seeing it on Channel 12? Oh, you got family down there. I see what you're saying now. So Remy is reporting that looked like a bomb went off on Pike Road. I'm going to be honest with you. Of course, that storm had a possible tornado with it when it moved through. But the tornado part of it never really looked that impressive on radar. But what did look impressive was the hail core. And there were Skywarn reporters reporting baseball-sized hail. Now, baseball-sized hail will cause a lot of damage. It will knock down limbs. It will tear up anything it hits. Alyssa, not really. She's asking the question, can tornadoes form on the back end of a storm line? If you're talking about a squall line that's moving through, most all the time, any tornado activity would be on the front of it. But now this is not a squall line that we're dealing with right now. These are individual singular cell thunderstorms. If we get a squall line later on this evening, tornadoes are not as significant. Tornadoes are not as likely along a squall line as they are with singular storms. A supercell singular storm is what produces the F2s and 3s, the really big tornadoes. Along a squall line, you would get those quick spin-ups anywhere there's a kink across that line of thunderstorms. Maybe that answered your question. Yeah, Remy, I'm seeing reports of that all over the chat room, in the Weather Service chat room. Baseball-size hail, now moving into Sumter, Greene, and Hale. That's going to be over here on the Mississippi state line. That's going to be this storm right here. So Meridian is reporting, or maybe it's Columbus that's reporting, confirmed reports of baseball-sized hail in this storm that's about to move into West Alabama. And before I sign off, give me just a minute. I want to read this statement from the Weather Service. I'm going to read it offline, so hang on with me 1 second. Yeah, there was no volume because I had to turn it off, Joe. I'm multitasking. So I'm talking to you guys in East Alabama and West Georgia. I'm talking to my 911 center here in White County. I'm coordinating a new tornado watch that's just been issued for the area I'm responsible for up here in Northeast Georgia, and that happens from time to time. Um, and I have to prioritize things, so that's why the audio went silent there for just a few moments. Let's see. All right, so if you're in Georgia, we now have a tornado watch that covers a good portion of the state of Georgia, including North Georgia and West Georgia. So our remaining West Georgia counties that were not included. And I told you about 20 minutes ago, I felt like a new tornado watch was about to be issued by the Storm Prediction Center, and that now has happened. And that will show on the screen here in just a moment. But while we're waiting on that, I can tell you that we have a tornado watch in effect until 2 a.m. Eastern. In West Georgia, West Central, we've got Hurd, Meriwether, Troop, Coweta, Muskogee, and Harris. So that's all of our West Georgia counties. Now, it goes further into West Georgia, back toward Middle Georgia. And it also gets Northeast Georgia, for those of you who watch us up here in the Northeast Georgia mountains, and Northwest Georgia, as well as the Atlanta metro area. And that will show up on the screen here in just a moment. Josh, we don't talk 99.999% of the time. There are pauses in there. There's nothing wrong with the audio. Y'all should hear me fine now. Nilla wafers and peanut butter, popcorn, extra butter, gummies, and cinnamon rolls. Girl, you are ready to go. Called Storm Snacks. She's already halfway through the box of vanilla wafers. You are too much. Okay, I'm not going to stay wall to wall right now, folks, because this may end up being an all-night affair. So let me update you again real quick, then we're going to take another break until something significant happens. We have that severe thunderstorm warning between Columbus and Eufaula that's going to move into Georgia. That storm produced a possible tornado over Montgomery and then back over the Pike Road area between Troy and Montgomery. Produced a tremendous amount of hail, and it still is. We have another area that we're keeping an eye on just to the west of Montgomery that's very slowly moving to the east. I'm hoping that first storm cooled the atmosphere enough in Montgomery so that we don't have a repeat performance, but we're going to keep an eye on that one. And then we have another severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued for West Alabama over around Sumter County. That is for a storm coming out of Mississippi that is also producing baseball-sized hail. A line of showers and thunderstorms stretching from Columbus all the way to Gadsden. Heavy rain moving into the north side of Atlanta. Up here in North Georgia, we have a special weather statement just to the southeast of Chattanooga. And mostly light rain everywhere else. But a new tornado watch that has now been issued that's going to, or that does, cover a large area of west central, north central, and northern Georgia. The watch will go into effect now and will remain in effect until 2 a.m. tomorrow morning, and it'll show up here on the screen in just a few moments. So we're going to step aside. Again, I've got some spaghetti waiting on me downstairs, so I'm going to go try to shuffle some of that down, and then I'll be back as soon as conditions warrant. I will be back at some point, but it may be just a few minutes before we get back on here with our live coverage. So stay with us. Our coverage will continue on Dr. Don's Weather.